Over $42 million project launched to address backwater dump site challenges. The Gambia plans to revive structures put in place to prevent the country from the Ebola disease. And witnesses ex-President Jammeh does not respect the law. These and more coming on Gambia24. Stay tuned. Good evening, you're watching Gambia24 News Bulletin with me, Mariama Cham. Thanks for joining us, and now the news in detail. The SOS Children's Village, in collaboration with its international partners and the Cardiff Municipal Council, today launched a project of $42 million called Sustainable Waste Management for the reduction of child rights violations at backwater dump site. The project is geared towards protecting children and families from the hazardous impacts of the dump site. More of that in this report. A welcoming performance displayed by the SOS school children depicts the lives of children who frequently visit the dump site in search of leftover foods and trash materials. Backwater dump site has been a major health risk and hazardous environmental challenges over the years. It is situated between three densely populated communities of Bakwate, Dipakunda and Manjaikunda. There has been a public outcry for years, and residents in the area have sought for the relocation of the dump site. With the launching of the $42 million project, at least 200 families, 1,000 children and 50 youths are expected to benefit from it. In order to complement the efforts of various partners, the Lord Mayor of KMC, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, plans to contribute $4 million from KMC's development budget to fast-track the implementation of the structural facilities to be constructed.
The backwater dump site remains the largest challenge facing the Cardiff Municipal Council. I firmly believe that this collaboration with SOS Children's Villages will enhance the management of the backwater dump site in order to improve the lives of the people of Bakwate, Dibakunda, Manjaikunda, and the surrounding communities. KMC is grateful to SOS Children's Villages for their cooperation on this important initiative. I know that this project will further strengthen our partnership, and as we work towards achieving the project goal of an enhanced protection of health, environment, and economic violations of children's rights in the neighborhoods of the Bakwate dump site. Our initial discussions for the project focus on creating a green zone along the highway and having evolved into the current project, which takes the comprehensive approach to upgrading the management of the Bakwate dump site.
The dump site is not only a threat to the inhabitants, but it greatly affects school-going children around the area and patients visiting the SOS health facility. Maria Sala, the National Director of the SOS Children's Village in the Gambia, gives an overview of the orphanage since its inception in 1982.
SOS Children's Villages, the Gambia, advocates for the rights of children and believes that a child's development is best achieved in a conducive environment. Assuring the well-being of children, we support caring parents and caregivers. This is achieved through cooperation and advocacy involving communities, authorities, and various partners. Mr. Chairperson and invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, SOS Children's Villages, the Gambia, commenced its operations in this country in 1982. With the establishment of the Bakwate Children's Village.
Flying around the dump site can be disturbing with the presence of trash materials and toxic smoke, which is detrimental to the environment and the human system. Children are often seen picking waste from the dump site, which exposes them to great danger. As the project partially addresses concerns on child's rights violations at the dump site, Kani Sow, the SOS Children representative, is delightful of the benefits of the project.
We are very happy and thankful that the BMZ Bakwate Dump Site project has come to reduce child rights violation at Bakwate Dump Site. We are very happy that the SOS Children's Villages, the Gambia, is working closely in partnership with the KMC to advocate for child's rights and child safeguarding within this project. We are the future of this country and the inheritors of the world. We have the right to life, good health, clean water, clean and sustainable livelihood.
The project is expected to last for 2 months, and some components of the project include construction of 2 roads in the dump site, capacity building, family strengthening, among others. The project is jointly funded by the German Corporation, SOS National and International, and the Kanifing Municipal Council. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Mariama Cham. A $42 million project launched to address the toxic conditions of the Bakote dump site against children and the surroundings. Now, Guinea-Conakry is experiencing a resurgence of Ebola outbreak, signaling alert for sub-regional countries to tighten measures to avert another outbreak. Gambian authorities says the country will revive measures put in place some years ago to prevent the strike of the disease. More details of that in this report by Ndesise.
The Ebola outbreak that ravaged West Africa from 2014 to 2016, killing thousands of people, mostly in Guinea-Conakry and DR Congo, has found its way back. The contagious disease is deadlier than the current global coronavirus pandemic. As the world is faced with the coronavirus pandemic, the Gambia intends to revive structures in case it encounters the Ebola outbreak.
We understand that an outbreak occurred in Guinea, and not only the Gambia, almost most of the countries in the region currently have preparing themselves. And for the case of the Gambia, this is not the first time. It could be recalled some 5 years ago, about 5 years ago. Ebola actually broke out in West Africa, and the countries that were mostly affected were Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. And thank God, Gambia didn't report any case then.
When the disease first broke in West Africa, other sub-regions put stringent measures in place to prevent the virus infection. The Gambia's Deputy Director of Health Promotion, Sanjali Traveler, says the country is aware of the resurgence and are cautious of it.
And the plan is already there, because the plan we had during that time, it can still be revived. We can review it. So we already have the plan, and it can also be recalled during that time some of the health workers were trained, so we only need to refresh their memory just to retain them. So meaning that I think we had that opportunity during that time, so all the available resources we had during that time can just be reviewed and updated. So I think we still have that opportunity.
Although Gambia has never experienced the Ebola outbreak, but stringent and preventive guidelines were observed. People were compelled to observe personal hygiene in public places, such as frequent washing of hands, avoiding close physical contact with people showing symptoms of the disease, among others. The 2014 to 2016 Ebola outbreak in West Africa began in a rural setting of Guinea and spread across the country within weeks, and later became a global epidemic. The outbreak ended with more than 28,600 cases and 11,325 deaths. The resurgence of the disease found Guinea battling with the COVID-19 pandemic, but response measures have been initiated, and the World Health Organization is supporting the country with vaccines to contain its spread. Reporting for iAfrica News, I am Ndesise.
Gambian authorities to put years of revived measures to prevent the strike of Ebola in the country. Now to some matters of politics. MC Cham, the National Youth President of the Gambia Democratic Congress, has welcomed the decision of some political party leaders that traveled in Nigeria to continue the negotiations to revive the draft constitution. Leaders of key political parties, including UDP and GDC, on Monday arrived in Abuja to meet Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, who is the chief negotiator in finding a common solution. Fatmata Kasim tells us more.
When the news emerged that some political party leaders are in Nigeria for draft constitution talks, cross-sections of Gambians used their different social media platforms to express their disappointment to this move. Many called the move as a waste of resources, while others described it as a shame that the country's fate is being discussed in a foreign land. However, MC Cham of GDC said there is nothing wrong with the initiative, arguing that this is not the first time the country's matters are being discussed or settled in foreign countries.
Because in politics you have two things. You have the internal and external. The internal committee need to support you. If they invite you and you don't go, that means that you are not having the interest of this country. So this is about the Gambia. It's not about the political parties. They are our leaders, but they should go and listen to this guy. If they can make agreement fine. If we can make agreement, let them come back and be depressed and discuss that this was our positions. But for me, I think it's a good move. We haven't made a lot of agreements. We haven't economic in this country. The agreement was made in Nigeria. When Jammeh was saying that he don't want to leave this country, we see ex-president come to the Gambia to make negotiations so that he can leave this country peacefully. We have a lot of agreements have been signed outside this country. So, and Gambia, we need everybody. We need our neighbors. It's not about we can all do our things without support for other countries.
The GDC national president is not expecting a positive outcome in Abuja as political leaders met the former Nigerian president Goodluck Jonathan. He said traveling to Nigeria doesn't indicate that there will be an agreement after initial negotiation failed in the Gambia.
Because I was part of the GDC team when Jonathan was here, and I have a lot of discussion with a lot of other political parties. I know their positions, and I know that at the end of the day, we are not going to have a new constitution.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, because some people, they say that they need this draft constitution without any amendment. Some say that they can compromise. We can make a lot of changes from there. We just pass it to the parliament so that we can go for referendum. Some say no. So at the end of the day, that means that we can have dialogue.
What is GDC's take?
Our position, we need to compromise. We need to have a new constitution. We need to go to referendum. We need to give Gambia a new constitution because we have spent almost 160 million for this draft constitution. At the end of the day, that money can be even used at the hospitals or other areas. So for GDC positions, we support the draft constitution. That's why we say that let's compromise some of these sections of provisions.
Goodluck Jonathan visited the Gambia twice to meet the country's President Adama Barrow, leaders of key political parties, National Assembly members, and civil society organizations. The move was meant to support the country's outgoing constitutional review process and facilitate the process of forging a workable national consensus. The several encounters in Banjul could not yield any positive outcome, prompting another in Abuja for consensus to save the seemingly dead draft constitution. For iAfrica News, I am Fatoumata Kasim.
Some party leaders in Abuja are negotiating for the revival of the discarded draft constitution. Now we'll go with a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the rest of the news.
The pride we take in our brand, the work we put in to constantly change the landscape and elevate real estate in the Gambia, it's compared to none. From inception, our goal was to add value to the beautiful Gambian landscape. That's why we are proud innovators of community estates. Kololi Sands is an exceptional piece of work, tailored for ultimate convenience and luxury, to bring you an element of finesse that is rare but unique in its own. This is also our pride and joy, and we welcome you to the exquisite beauty right here in Kololi and right here on the waterfront. Kololi Sands, feel the ocean breeze at your doorstep.
Welcome back, and now to the rest of the news. Mama Kande, the party leader of Gambia Democratic Congress, and representatives of other political parties on Saturday attended the National Congress of the APRC in solidarity with the former ruling party. The Congress availed the Green Party the opportunity to rescind on the past and chart a way forward ahead of the forthcoming election. Binta Jalo reports.
Representatives of the different political parties, including the Gambia Democratic Congress Party, GDC, attended the APRC National Congress to show solidarity with the Green Party. Mama Kande, who was one-time member of the former ruling party, said their presence at the Congress was to show unity among the political parties. Kande also highlighted the significance of their attendance to the Congress.
Well, I will have to congratulate the APRC. I think everything was well organized, and this is nothing new in the APRC because it's a party that has been existing for more than 20 years. So they really know what they're doing, and I think I'm happy myself being here and seeing the way they organize things, and I'm congratulating them for the job well done. I mean, being from another political party,
does not mean that I'm not a Gambian. I'm a Gambian and we are all talking about the same Gambia. So it doesn't matter which party you come from. What matters here is the Gambia, and this is what matters for us all.
Almami Fandintal, the spokesperson of the United Democratic Party, UDP, says their attendance signifies the act of democracy and to foster unity among political parties.
It's a sign of a healthy democracy in the Gambia. Since 2016, we have had congresses where we invite each other to signify goodwill and good faith and our faith in the democratic change of government that happened since 2016. So it's a very, very significant day for Gambians.
Also speaking to iAfrica TV, Citizens Alliance and Gambia Action Party representatives underscored the essence of attending each other's events.
To be here to witness such a very, very important occasion. I mean, congresses is something that all parties are supposed to do. It's a mandatory occasion that all political parties are supposed to do, at least I think every 2 years. And it's very, very important that if political parties try to fulfill their obligations as parties. So we had our Congress and we extended an invitation to them and they were in attendance.
Well, the significance of that is that it is one Gambia. Regardless of how many political parties there are, at the end of the day, we're all working to create a better country for all of us. And we accepted the invitation and honor it by showing that we are in agreement that Gambia is bigger than all of us and that it's everybody's responsibility, regardless of political affiliation, to try to come together and work for the country.
Political parties are the guardians of democracy, as outlined in the Memorandum of Understanding signed in 2017 that seeks to govern their inter-party relations. The Alliance for Patriotic Reorientation and Construction Party held their 7th National Congress with a renewed commitment to sweep the December 4th presidential polls with a strong Back to State House campaign. Reporting for iAfrica TV, Binta Jallo.
Mama Kande, leader of the GDC and other political parties, attended the just concluded APRC Congress. Now to matters of the TRRC. Following Monday's testimony of 2 victims who alleged torture and unlawful detention from Jame's bulldozer, the alleged killer of Jame, Amadou Bojang, today appeared before the commission. He says Jame has disregarded for the law. Khadija Duseka has the rest of that.
Captain Amadou Bojang narrates his unlawful arrest and detention to the Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission on Tuesday. Mr. Bojang says he was made to surrender himself under arrest without reason. Bojang believes his arrest was unlawful. Jame does not respect the laws governing the country.
Firstly, our company commanders were not aware. The commandant was not aware. Sorry, the chief instructor was not aware. And also the commandant also was not aware. The chief of defense staff was not aware. And if the matter has to be treated at the commander-in-chief's level, I felt it was an overreaction.
But that statement, it was an overreaction, that is in fact an understatement. He violated the laws of this country.
Commission I call landed Tambekela. We mukata fene de miano ko fan. I lua letnya lua sarol milenda abota wotol.
That is true.
In effect, you saying that our then president Yaya Jammeh did not respect the law.
Say come for the conta law president Kodoni Yaya Jammeh amon lua bunya.
That's true.
Mr. Bojang concurs with the late counsel that he was not versed in the laws, and so there were many human rights violations in executing their duties as bulldozers.
You said you did not know the law. You definitely could not have implemented the law.
Personally, yes.
And you could not have supervised the proper implementation of the law. Because you did not know it. And you would agree with me that a lot of rights violations could have and perhaps indeed occurred simply because you did not know what the law was.
That's true.
Mr. Bojang says Ibrahim Keita and Musa Fofana were arrested in connection to an assassination plan on the then president.
The information I received. There were some Gambian dissidents who were in support of the then demonstration.
The demonstrations or the planned or envisaged demonstrations?
There was a demonstration prior to that. That was the Solo Sanden demonstration. And the subsequent UDP executive arrest also. After that, it was suggested that there is a plan, according to the information, there was a planned demonstration to that. But this demonstration was going to be supported by the military incursion. That would have been the ultimate assassination of the president.
The bulldozer comprises different security personnel of the Gambia Armed Forces. Since its inception, it has registered several human rights violations. It was believed that when people are refusing to talk to the defunct NIA, they were usually taken to the bulldozer complex for intimidation and torture. Reporting for African News, I am Khadija Seka.
That TRRC story by Khadija Seka will bring us to the end of Gambia 24. I am your presenter, Mariama Cham. Thanks for watching and to have a good night.